Welcome to Property Focus. Today we're at Tira's studio to celebrate Wamuyu, a young interior designer who's built a signature practice around one bold rule. She only works with wood and metal. Her pieces are practical, beautiful, and built to lift a property's look and market appeal. We actually first noticed Wamuyu's work in several show houses and stage properties we covered on Property Focus. The same pieces we featured on those home tours caught buyers' eyes and inspired this interview. From reclaimed wood of dining tables that opened up into villas to shelving systems that transformed a loft, the furniture we've showcased before is what led us here to find out how she designs, sources, and stages to make real estate shine. So today we'll tour her favorite pieces and dive into a 10-question interview to learn how she turned creativity and grit into a business that's opening doors for other young women in design and real estate. Let's go meet Wamuyu. Welcome to Property Focus. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Am I welcome to your studio?
You're very welcome. Karibu sana.
Very good.
Yeah.
Briefly introduce yourself.
My name is Wamuyu Ndegwa. I am the founder and CEO of Tira Studio. We make wood and metal furniture for hospitality, homes, and offices and corporates. Yeah.
Okay. Any particular reason why wood?
Why wood?
Yes.
Because wood is a resource that is renewable. It's a resource that is available to us like locally, and working with wood allow us to preserve the craft of carpentry. So those things for me matter because that's how we create jobs, that's how we preserve the crafts, and those are important things for me.
What's the usual process from concept to ideation to final delivery?
Typically what happens is, depending on whether the project has a designer or not, the process starts with, obviously, like the person brings whatever it is that they're trying to achieve.
Yes.
So if it's a home, it's how they want their home to look like. Maybe there's things that already exist that they're trying to match. If it's a project, it's a blank canvas. So they tell us who their clientele is, what kind of look they're trying to achieve, and then we start from there. And then after that, we sit down with either the designer or the clients, and we look at the wood options. So sometimes, depending on the budget, that determines which wood we select. But for most of our projects, we use mango and teak, hard-wearing woods, things that are long-lasting, because that's how we built the brand, that we build things that last over time. So we've already incorporated the woods that we know will survive in like high-end and high-use environments. So that also applies to the things that we use for homes. Yeah. So generally, like, it's collaborative, where we bring our ideas, the client brings the ideas, and we sit down and we try and match whatever it is that you're trying to achieve.
In terms of woods that are long-lasting and durable, which woods are those?
We use mango wood, which is from mango trees. Once the fruiting season is done, then the trees are now ready to be used for other applications like furniture and timber. We also use teak. The teak that we use comes from Tanzania. So there's plantations in Tanzania that have teak. We also use pine. The pine that we use comes from Uganda. We have plantations, and farmer associations in Uganda have done really well with growing pine. So most of the wood we use is pine, teak,
mango.
And mango. We don't use mahogany and mvule, which are your typical hardwoods that are used here. That's conscious because we try and use wood that we know is being grown sustainably. And we're going to get into that a bit. Out of those three, which one is the very best? There's nothing like best wood. So it depends on the application. So if you're looking for a wood that's almost like a hardwood but is reasonably priced, then that's mango wood. And if you're looking for a very expensive, long-lasting wood, then that's teak. So the wood has properties that define the applications. Like teak is good for use outdoors, mango isn't. So it's really just taking the features of the wood and using it where it suits best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the grain of the wood. How do you select that?
So like the grain is very different across different woods. And so what we try to do is we've discussed with the team to try and match grains, because sometimes you'll find like one piece has all sorts of different grades, and some clients prefer that they want to see like different grains on their pieces. So sometimes it depends on what the client wants. So they'll have like a mango piece with all the black streaks, and some will want even colored wood. So it also depends on what the client wants, but we try as much as possible to have the team match similar pieces together so that the item looks consistent even when the wood has all sorts of grains. Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question. In terms of consistency, I can see some dinner sets and some chairs. How do you ensure it's all consistent in the way it looks?
I don't think it's possible to make wood consistent because every tree is different. It's like fingerprints.
Yes.
So consistency is hard to get in terms of like when you buy a product from us, if you come and buy the same product maybe 2 weeks later, no two products will ever be the same. So what can be consistent and what we try to make consistent is how we make the furniture. The design will be the same, the finishing will be the same, the cut will be the same, but no two pieces will ever be the same.
Will ever be the same. Interesting. And I guess that's the uniqueness about it, right?
Yes.
Okay. In terms of sustainability, what sustainable practices are you carrying out?
That's a very good question. So our workshop is actually, right now, we're almost 80% waste-free. So first of all, we make sure that we source woods from like plantations and people who and using like mango wood, which is a sustainable tree. And on top of that, we use all our small pieces to make like trays and chopping boards and like smaller items that we sell in our shops. And then the sawdust and the smaller chips and the offcuts, we've started turning them into briquettes.
Wonderful.
So we use almost everything in our production line. And so I'm very proud of the fact that we are building a waste-free workshop.
Interesting. And in terms of replenishing the earth?
Yes, so there's programs like with Kenya Association of Manufacturers where they allow you to like adopt a forest. And so we participate in such programs where we're also replanting, and our team also plants the trees where we are in Muranga.
Wonderful. I love it. Well, we're going to take a short commercial break. Very insightful, by the way. And then when we're back, we've got more with Tira Studio, Wamuyu from Tira Studio. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Property Focus. Joined with us, if you're just joining us right now, we have Wamuyu from Tira Studio, who's telling us about wood and everything and the intricacies about it. Welcome back, Wamuyu.
Thank you.
Good. Now, tell me about live edges and inlays. First of all, what are inlays, and then how do you handle all of that?
So inlays is when you add features onto the wood. So for instance, you could use brass or you could use bone. So it's just adding details and character to the wood. And so sometimes clients want like unique details on their pieces. And so one of the things that is now also coming up as quote unquote an inlay is using epoxy. So having like the live edge, and then the places where there's gaps is filled up with epoxy, which works like an inlay.
I've seen, and they put
like the river. Exactly. So that's also almost like an inlay. So there's different ways to do it, and it's just one of the things that to add character to the pieces. And then the live edge is when so when you cut a tree, when they slice it, they leave the barks on. And sometimes when people are trying to create like an organic look, or you're trying to bring the outside in and you want to have like nature in front of you, that's one of the pieces that people like, and those are popular pieces that are becoming more popular now. So having the rough edges of the tree, and you can also simulate it. So there's projects we've had where we've not found the actual bark, but we can cut and simulate the live edge, so it looks like a live edge piece inspired by the bark. So there's lots of different ways to do the live edge. Ideally, like if we can get the barks, it looks much better because it brings a lot of character and texture to the pieces.
So how do you come to a meeting of minds with your client whenever you set on an objective or a particular objective?
So I'm trained as an interior designer, and so for me, the way I think about it and the way I helped navigate those conversations is think about the eventual use of the space and whoever is going to occupy the space. So if it's a high-end lodge, then you're thinking about the guests. How do you want them to feel? How do you want them to experience the space? What kind of things do you want them to associate the place with?
Yes.
And so thinking about the end use of the space, and the end user then makes it a lot easier. So then we're able to come to the table and make a space that works for everyone that's going to use the space.
So in terms of aesthetic goals and practical considerations, how do you marry the two again? How do you ensure that, there are many elements? There's water, there's temperature, there's moisture. How do you ensure that, the products are good?
Okay, so for me, form follows function. I believe in making practical pieces.
Yeah.
If a project is being done in Mombasa, there is wood that we won't do in Mombasa.
Yes.
And if a project is being done in a place that has high humidity, so we consider where the project is, so that we're able to also advise the client what wood works best in what environment.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, beautiful pieces that are not functional is also a waste. So I believe in making sure that as much as the pieces are beautiful, because I believe in making beautiful pieces, they still work and function well for the space that they're being taken to. So for me, I'm always trying to make sure that beauty also follows function. Yeah. Interesting.
Very well answered. Now, in terms of challenges that you've come across, what are some of the biggest challenges you face with clients or projects?
Yeah, especially for projects is sometimes the clients come to us quite late.
Yeah.
So they come maybe like 2 months before the project is done. And that sounds like a reasonable time, but 2 months is not enough for us to maybe source the wood. The wood needs like a whole month to dry. And so we're now left with like 3 weeks of production time because we've not sufficiently prepared for the project. But we've experienced a different way where this client who's working on a lodge in Amboseli came to us like 6 months before, and we've managed to be able to do prototypes. Some of the pieces are here, I'll show you. So we've done all the prototypes for the project. We've scoped everything, we've looked at finishes, and that gives us enough room to now present like a high-end product that works very well for the space. So I think if we could get people approach the producers earlier, so that we're having discussions as the project is ongoing, then that gives us enough room to make like a good product that will last.
Okay, any advice to anybody who's in interior design or they want to use wood in interior design?
I think for interior designers, I'd like to talk to interior designers. It's very important to understand the wood, because sometimes interior designers will come with mood boards and they'll say, we want a walnut finish, and we don't have walnut wood here.
Yes.
And the expectation is that you'd be able to convert whatever wood that you have into what they have pictured for their project, and sometimes it's not possible. So it's important to understand the wood in their natural forms, how they receive the stain, so that you can know like what kind of finishes are available to you, and then also understand the time it takes to make projects, because sometimes the interior designers also don't give enough time for the producers to make the project. So I think more collaborations, and perhaps what we'll do over time is having designers come over to our production space so they can see the process and they can understand what goes into making the pieces. Yeah. For someone who's starting out, like, go for it. Understand the science, because furniture and woodworking is not kubahatisha, it's actually a science. So you have to understand the properties of the wood, ergonomics, how to make sure things work for different heights and different spaces. So understand the science before you get into the actual making. And that's the advice I'd give them, and good luck, because it's also very challenging.
Super, 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 super.
Yeah.
Well, very well answered. I've learned a lot, for sure. Thank you very much for coming onto the show.
Sure.
Really appreciate it. So I want to see the different types of woods. Teak wood, mango wood. Do you have them over here?
Yeah, sure. I can show you around.
Sure thing. Let's go have a look at them.
Right.
Okay.
So this is mango wood.
This is mango wood.
Yes. You know it from the different grains. It's very erratic.
It's very colorful as well.
Yes, it is. And this is cypress.
Yeah.
It typically has knots, and that's the natural color of the wood. We've actually not stained a lot of the pieces that are here, this is the natural color of the wood.
Okay, does mango have knots as well?
No, mango doesn't have knots.
So mango doesn't have
is
knots.
just like linear but very different sorts of grains.
Got it. Got it.
Meru oak has knots, but smaller knots. And the knots come from when the tree is growing, the branches. So Meru oak has smaller knots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are where the branches will be coming out.
Yes, that's where the branches were.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
You know, you never think about these things, but
yes,
then that's quite interesting.
And this is also mango. You can see
Yeah.
like this is completely different from the other piece. So the grain is, like I was saying, every piece is different.
Love it. Learned a lot. Thank you very much, Wamuyu.
Karibu sana.
Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Super. Thank you for having us.
Karibu.
Thank you for coming on to Property Focus.
All right, thank you.